Your 20s and 30s are meant to be the best years of your life, when you're at your youngest and sharpest. But do you ever feel like you're totally lost, not living life at the highest level of your purpose and potential? Maybe you're not totally miserable and depressed all the time, but you're not living life in total bliss, meaning and fulfillment either. Instead, you're in this kind of gray zone of mediocreness where life, it's just not quite what you imagined it to be. I know these are big life questions that we all struggle with, but the answer to them doesn't need to be hard, complex or fluffy. In fact, it's radically simple and it requires far less time than most people think. In today's free training, I'm going to share with you the Passion Finder test, a simple 3-step test that I've used and hundreds of others have used to successfully find more clarity in life. It started off as a tool that I used to figure out what I want to do with my life. And when I shared it with my life coaching clients, they started raving about how helpful and ridiculously simple it was and how I needed to tell more people about it. So here I am. It's something you can use to gain maximum clarity today using nothing more than a pen and paper. The only catch, if there is one, is that it's a practice rather than something that you use once and you get all of the answers. In fact, what my clients and I found was the more that you use the Passion Finder test, the more clarity you gain and the better your life will be as a result. It's a coaching technique that can help people at various points in their life, whether you feel shipwrecked and in desperate need of answers, or steady and certain, but you could use more clarity. So make sure you stick around until the end, because I'm going to show you this technique as well as my favorite practical and evidence-based tools in my 8 years of working as a professionally trained and accredited life coach, so that you leave feeling far more relaxed and confident about exactly where your life is going. You'll feel free from that damaging burden that you felt before of trying to figure things out, because you'll finally know exactly what your purpose in life truly is. You'll also learn some very practical and evidence-based coaching techniques used by the top companies in the world who hire coaches that cost upwards of £100,000 a year on retainer to learn this stuff. These ideas shouldn't be available just for a rich elite, so I'm giving it to you here for free so you can use it to keep rediscovering your purpose whenever you get lost, stuck or confused. And maybe you can also share it with other people in your life too. On top of teaching you this Passion Finder test that so many people have been saying should be taught in schools, you're going to leave much better educated and informed as to the 6 proven reasons that the latest research in psychology shows stops people from living their life at their happiest and most fulfilled, so that you can avoid these common traps. To save you as much time as I can, I've pre-recorded this, but I'm in the chat box right now answering any questions that you might have. Now, before we start, who am I and why on earth should you trust anything at all that I have to say? What makes me different to the millions of other self-help gurus on your timeline? Well, my name is Keshav Bhatt, and first off, what separates me from 99% of the other life coaches out there is I'm a professionally certified life coach and NLP practitioner. There's so many self-help gurus out there sharing plagiarized Tumblr quotes or generic advice, but I've actually earned certifications, diplomas, and been independently observed and assessed by experts in the fields of coaching, neuro-linguistic programming, and psychology. Second is my experience. I'm someone who's been helping leaders and high performers all over the world to live a purpose-filled life. And lastly is my style. I'm known for being the life coach who creates huge lifelong transformations in my clients with my brutally honest advice, powerful yet simple coaching techniques, and proven track record for getting results. But I wasn't always here, and I want you to know exactly where I started. I was a confused 22-year-old waste man, struggling with mental health issues, unsure of what to do with my life, and not fitting in anywhere. Here's a photo of me living in my parents' house, waking up late with no plan, no goals, and no real ambition. Every job I applied for, I got rejected for, and I struggled to find a career of purpose that really suited my interests and my dreams. When I did dare to talk about what I wanted, people laughed at me and told me I should stick to something more realistic. Where I'm at now is I've been able to travel the world in all these places, give inspirational speeches to people both in person and on YouTube. I've started 2 of my own businesses, which has allowed me to leave my own unique mark on the world. I've done a TEDx talk and been given an award in the UK Parliament. I've been featured in the media by all kinds of outlets, volunteered in refugee camps and orphanages all over the world, and I've grown a following of over 50,000 people online whilst building 2 successful companies, all before the age of 30. None of this I'm saying because I'm special, lucky, or different to you, or because I am the finished article. I'm really not. But simply that I realize the leaders in the world who are living life at their happiest and most fulfilled have learned a secret that none of us ever get taught at school, college, or university. And it's those same secrets that I want to reveal to you today. Now, here's an outline of exactly what I'm going to cover in today's training, as well as timestamps so you know what to expect and when. It's going to be this long, and here's the breakdown. First up, I'm going to help you get as clear as possible in today's training on your purpose in life by teaching you the Passion Finder test that I cover in my paid course, Inner Compass. It's a proven methodology that I've created based on my research and training over the last 10 years, and it's been helping thousands of people just like you to stop feeling confused about what to do in life and find your own practical ideas to release clarity and purpose in life. Number 2, once we've done that, I'm going to break down what decades of scientific research tells us about the 6 major reasons that people live unhappy and unfulfilled lives, along with the practical solutions that are going to help you to overcome these. This way you leave knowing what things to watch out for along your journey so that any changes that you make today are as long lasting as possible. Finally, after giving away my best ideas, knowledge, and years of expertise to you for free, even some of my own client secrets, which I'm very happy to do, I hope to have earned your trust and permission to pitch my online course, Inner Compass, to help you as it builds on everything I teach you today and helps you live your best life. Full transparency, I want to convince you to join my online course today by giving you my best stuff for free, and I'm hoping that you get a real sample of what you get when you join our community of like-minded people interested in practical self-improvement and positivity. Before I teach you the Passion Finder test, there's 3 toxic myths I hear clients say from time to time that I need to dispel because they really hold you back in a damaging way. We all want to live a life that is more passionate, purposeful, and doesn't make us feel like we're a hamster spinning on a wheel in an endless loop going nowhere. However, the first toxic misconception that a lot of us have is the idea that finding your calling in life is a monolithic thing, that you find it once and that's it, you're set for life. You should never feel lost again. That's simply not true, and if you think this way, discard it. Instead, what's better is to see finding your calling or direction in life as a habit you practice regularly rather than a single enlightening moment. I've probably felt lost every single day, but I use the same techniques I'm showing you today to help me get clear every day too. Purpose, like anything, it requires consistent reevaluating and refining as our paths in life evolve. The second toxic trap I hear clients say to me is a bit more subtle. They don't even see it. See, when we're lost, our thinking tends to shrink, our vision gets cloudier, and it feels like we've always been lost. We confuse how we feel right now with how we've always felt and will always feel. So before you start working on your purpose, it's important to assess how you're feeling right now and how that shrinks or expands your vision. This could be symptomatic of a deeper underlying problem or just a fleeting feeling that's totally normal. So it's important to try and break this cognitive dissonance and inertia, which is what the coaching techniques that I use help you to do. The third and final toxic myth is that the answer lies outside of you, that someone smarter or wiser or more experienced than you knows the solution. I know it's easy to look up to other people for the answers, and I'm not saying a mentor or a guide are not useful, but even if you are being coached by the best coaches in the world, by me personally, we're not you. I truly believe, and this is why I love coaching, that the best answers come from within you, and everything you need, you already have. And in case you're not sure what I mean by coaching and the difference between coaches, therapists, and mentors, here's the official answer. Coaching is the art of helping someone get from A to B quicker than they would on their own. A mentor might tell you what steps they followed to achieve that result, but that worked for them based on the goals, money, tools, knowledge that they had at that particular time. It won't completely work for you because our situations and psychologies are unique. Coaching is solution focused, not past focused. It's about generating your own answers, not copying someone else's. This is why the coaching techniques I'm sharing are so powerful, because they come from the best source of knowledge and transformation, you. I also find that when I follow my own true ideas and processes for my life, I stick to them for way longer than trying to copy the plethora of gurus online. So now you understand the 3 toxic myths and the reason why coaching is so powerful. Let's try out the Passion Finder test so you can see for yourself what I'm talking about. If you're looking for more clarity, direction, and purpose, what you're really looking for is a feeling that you felt before. Think about it. You want to feel like you know where you're going and what you want. How would you know you feel lost though, if that's all you've ever felt? There's been a time in your life already when you felt alive and in flow. It's not that you don't have direction, it's actually more true that you just want to replicate and make that feeling of clarity more consistent and long lasting. There are 3 things in life that give you great clues as to where the answers lie, which is what the Passion Finder test relies on, and they are your actions, the people you're around, and the places you're in. A meaning-filled life is the result of actions, habits, and relationships that are meaningful to you. A lost, confused life is the result of actions, places, and relationships that are not meaningful to you, but maybe for someone else. Step 1. What I want you to do now is answer the following questions as honestly as possible. To help you, I'll share my genuine answers as examples on screen, and there's a full workbook in the course on this. So I'm going to speed through it today. I'll give you 1 minute to answer them here, but you should go much deeper into it later. Okay, got your pen and paper ready? Step 1, let's go. Part 1, actions. Question 1. When did you last feel most alive and living with your true purpose? What is it about doing that is so important to you? Why does it matter? How does that make you feel, and why? Part 2, people. Who were you around when you last felt most alive and living with purpose? Try to think of specific people and examples. Go into as much detail as you can. Avoid writing 1 word or 1 sentence answers. Why did you choose those people? What is it about them that makes you feel that way? What did they do? And how does this affect you? Part 3, places. Where were you when you last felt most alive and living with clarity and purpose? Why? For every answer you write, ask why 5 times so you dig deeper. Last question. What have you learned by completing this activity? How will this realization help you? Wow, it's powerful, right? What I love about this, and about coaching more broadly, is we can both use this to gain more clarity regardless of who and where we are. I always find that the more I write, play, and think about these questions, the more my life comes into focus, a bit like sharpening your focus in a camera lens. First, you might need to wipe all the mud off. Then you might need to turn the lens and make things even clearer. Then you might even upgrade from a 720p shot to a 4K high-def picture. My point is that finding direction, purpose, and clarity in life is an important lifelong process because things change. A virus causes a worldwide pandemic and we all have to work from home. The weather changes and we can't go for a picnic outside. These are things we can't control, but we can control how we adjust and adapt to these situations. Now, there's actually a second part to this test, but I don't have time to fully go into it today, but I hope this has given you a great starting point. Where do you go from here though? How do you sustain this increased clarity you feel now? A useful thing to do is be aware of what might affect and change that. So here's the 6 major reasons based on all the things I've learned to this point that can hinder your fulfillment in life. Alongside that, I'm going to share with you how and why the Inner Compass course helps you solve these problems in greater detail, since we don't have time for covering it all today. 6 major reasons of unfulfillment in life. The first major cause of unhappiness and unfulfillment in life is, as we've spoken about, being unclear about where you would like your life to go and the direction you would like to head in. Now that you've sampled the Passion Finder test, you have a few more clues to understand best what drives you and how you can replicate more of that. The people, places, and habits that spark passion and energy for you. What most people tend to do is react to other people's agendas for them and their lives and kind of just go with the flow. It's the reason I believe I've successfully been able to avoid that. 10 years ago, I made an adjustment here, which meant I didn't end up lost and in a job that I didn't enjoy, working to build someone else's dreams whilst living at home with my parents. And then suddenly wondering a few years into that life, why am I feeling stuck? This is a phenomenon known as delayed return environment. This is exactly why the first module of Inner Compass is called Clarity. You need to know where you want to go with more precision. It's the difference between going to London and to Northala Fields in Wembley. One is a general location and the other is more specific. What I've found is you start general, but then you get more and more specific over time. Whereas if you don't know what you want from life, what interests you specifically have, then any path will do. That works for a while, but eventually you need to make some clear decisions before it's too late. And that's why in the first module of Inner Compass, we go through the best book that you can read to help you find your calling when you're lost in life. The 5 best ways to find your passion and purpose in life. And what I call the energy generation quadrant that the 1% use to understand what not to focus on and what to focus on. And also a 5-minute exercise to help you make your vision even clearer. The second major cause of unhappiness and a lack of fulfillment today is anxiety and stress. We face so much uncertainty today, as I mentioned, that we have to develop countermeasures to help protect our mindsets from this ocean of chaos. Anxiety encompasses feelings of worry, nervousness, or dread. Although unpleasant, occasional bouts of anxiety are natural and sometimes even productive. By signaling that something isn't quite right, anxiety can help people to avoid danger and make important and meaningful changes. But persistent, pervasive anxiety that disrupts your life daily, whether it's at school, work, or with friends. It can be the mark of an anxiety disorder. Nearly 1/3 of adults in the US will grapple with one at some point in their lives, according to the National Institute of Health. And the condition strikes more women than men. Anxiety disorders manifest in different ways and are often diagnostically distinct. Now, Inner Compass is not a replacement for proper medical treatment and interventions, but one clear way which unanimously is proven to work within the scientific community is mindfulness meditation. This is basically a practice of taking deep breaths and observing your thoughts without any judgment or reaction. I've personally benefited from this massively. I used to and have suffered from huge panic attacks and crippling anxiety in my life, both when I was young and in the aftermath of breakups and major events in my life. It was here that I turned to mindfulness meditation, and after attending 10-day retreats where we meditated intensely for over 100 hours in complete isolation. A 2009 study researched the impact of a 2.5-hour meditation session held once a week for 7 weeks in a prison, looking at a control group versus an experimental group. What they found was after this 7-week period ended, those who were in the experimental group experienced fewer difficulties in sleeping. They also had less of a desire to hit people, were more hopeful about their future, and felt less guilt about their crimes. Now, you might not want to spend 100 hours meditating, but you can learn the benefits, which is why I've included the following things in the course and condensed it down to something practical that you can learn in just 25 minutes through Module 2, Calm Mind. We go through 5 tips and tools to help you meditate consistently, including one which is used by Navy SEALs to stay calm in the high pressure situations of a war zone. And also we cover a 15-minute guided meditation with an MP3 you can download and use every single day to maintain a calm mind on a daily basis. And the final piece is my Dragon Breath technique, which helps you to interrupt feelings of anxiety using movement and deep breathing to relieve stress and negative emotions. The third major cause of unhappiness and unfulfillment in life is really damaging. It causes people to be pushed away by their friends, even on social networks. It's something that affects everyone, including 60% of married couples. It's something that actually makes us feel physically colder because it's programmed into our brains in evolution. So tell me in the chat, what do you think this unseen disease and problem is? Something that everyone feels and makes you feel unhappy and unfulfilled. The answer is loneliness and feeling like you don't belong. It's estimated that 40% of us will feel the aching pain of loneliness at some point in our lives. Yet despite how common loneliness is, few people are fully aware of the dramatic ways in which it impacts us and how to overcome it. Loneliness represents as great a risk for your long-term health and longevity as smoking cigarettes, because it increases our risk of an early death by 14%. On the flip side, it's something that if you can successfully resolve, you will be healthier and have a lower risk of death, even helping you fight cancer if you ever got it. It'll help you to live longer, like multiple studies here, and here show. It'll decrease your risk of depression, suicide, and substance abuse. So how do you tap into these things? Module 3 of the Inner Compass course is all about deep connection with yourself and other people. If you want to live a life of meaning and purpose, then you need connection. In this module of Inner Compass, I walk you through your ecosystem of you and your relationships, how to remove toxic people from your life, how you are programmed from a young age to respond to loneliness and failure by numbing and sabotaging yourself from success and meaningful relationships, how your unconscious is stopping you from taking action and moving your life in the direction you want. And we also take a look at why you keep sabotaging yourself. We look at why you stay in a job you hate and keep procrastinating on jumping into your dream career. And I cover a step-by-step template to help you journal every week using the Inner Compass community rear view reflection technique. Now, the fourth issue I see people run into when trying to find their purpose and happiness in life is one that most people watching this training will run into as well. And that is that they unlock clarity, calm mind, and connection, all these solutions once, but not consistently. Some of you know what your purpose in life is. You kind of know what direction you want to go following, but you're losing to people less smart and even less ethical than you because you're a procrastinator and dabbler. You try a bunch of different things. You're great at starting the process of change, but not sticking to it. You are inconsistently succeeding, but not consistently. It's why 70 to 80% of you are going to feel lost in life again, because you don't consistently use techniques like the Passion Finder test to gain clarity again and again and again. Let's look at an example of building good habits using the work of best-selling author James Clear. If you take a look at the graph here, what most people do is they focus on trying to do the perfect habit when they're the most motivated. They make it more complex than it needs to be. Let's say, for example, you want to meditate for 1 hour every single day. Well, you might need a lot of motivation to complete that habit. And what's better is to focus on making the habit easier and creating what I call a minimum viable habit. So in this example, it could be, instead of doing an hour every day, do 10 seconds every day or do 2 minutes every day. And once you've built up that consistency, then you start making the habit more complex over time. There are studies that show it can take anywhere from 66 days on average to 9 months to build a sustainable and true habit that has actually stuck. The solution to this problem of inconsistency is what I cover in the 4th module of the Inner Compass course. I share my techniques and tools to help you set a long-term 5-year vision to keep you inspired and focused. The tools that I like to use, like Google Drive, Scrum boards, and Trello, to stay more consistent with the plans that you make. Why I use Facebook to help me be more consistent, and how you can use the Inner Compass Facebook group full of people just like you with a similar mindset to grow, learn, and push themselves to be the best version of themselves too. We also cover the NICE method I modeled from a heavyweight champion to help you stay motivated. The 5th major cause of unhappiness and feeling lost in life is that you have a routine of living in your comfort zone, living a day of bad habits and procrastination. One of the first things I like to ask my clients when they tell me that they're feeling uninspired and unfocused is, what did you specifically do hour by hour today? And what did you not do? 9 times out of 10, they haven't followed the fundamental practices that they know work, and as do you. And so their mindless, uninspiring habits have, guess what, led to them feeling lost and unhappy. We already know that having meaningful interactions so you feel connected, setting clear goals and focuses for the day, meditating for 5 minutes as a minimum, exercises for 20 minutes as a minimum are proven ways to feel happy, healthy, and purposeful. So why do so many people procrastinate? And why do you overthink things and use your talent to procrastinate on social media and Netflix when you know what you really should be doing is something different? Maybe even recognize that you should use your time differently, but you can't figure out how. You know that you have a lot of potential, but instead you consistently fail to execute on this. And after hours and hours of procrastination, you end up feeling like a failure. You've even watched hours and hours of personal development videos like this, but you can't break free of this pattern. In the end, you lose confidence in yourself. You're not even sure that you can be trusted. You want to start realizing your potential. You want to be the best person you can. You want to win. You want to wake up on time. You want to build good habits on a daily basis, not just once, but always. Ultimately, you want to be in control of your direction in life so that you're living, not dying. And that is why Module 5 is all about solving this problem through understanding what type of procrastinator you are and how to fix this. The 5 causes of procrastination. And finally, what to watch out for that kills your purpose and feeling fulfilled in life. The final cause of unhappiness and unfulfillment in life is knowing your life is having no impact on the world in a meaningful way. I've heard so many stories of people studying for years and years, getting into debt to learn things for a job they don't even like that much, and in the end has no real world impact. It isn't fulfilling and it isn't rewarding. You already know that you do not exist simply to graduate, pay bills, and die a quiet, uninspired life full of broken dreams and lost potential. No wonder it leads to feelings of frustration, depression, and sadness. If this is you, maybe you're thinking or saying things like, I could be doing so much more with my life. Things haven't turned out the way I thought they would. Is there anything else out there for me in terms of my career? Am I always going to be stuck here? We all want to make an impact. We live in an age where you can do so much more with your career, from making money from affiliate income to traveling the world and getting paid to do so. But even once you do those things, what else? You're going to ask yourself, what mark did you leave behind on the world? Did you achieve your full potential in life? Or did you just selfishly live only for yourself? yourself. Yeah, making a lot of money and achieving recognition, status helps. But there are numerous studies that show after a threshold of £60,000 a year, more money doesn't really lead to more happiness. In a sample size of nearly 2 million people, researchers found something that's known as income satiation occurring at $60,000 to $75,000 for emotional well-being. What's also interesting is that in certain parts of the world, incomes that went past that point were associated with lower life satisfaction. The evidence here is clear. Money is helpful and important. It gives us options and happiness to a certain point. But what about beyond that? What happens once you get the job, the nice car, the beautiful house, the family, the kids? What is it really that's going to help you to feel fulfilled? For me, the most fulfilling part of my work is the impact that I get to have on other people. Hearing stories of people in remote villages in Namibia using the last of their cellular data to watch my videos, or saving someone from suicide using my coaching skills. Which is why Module 6 is all about contribution. Giving to others is one of the most powerful ways to unlock meaning, purpose, and happiness in your life. From buying a gift for someone you really care about to helping a stranger with their shopping because they can't carry it, the impact is proven. A 2008 study by Harvard Business School professor Michael Norton and colleagues found that giving money to someone else lifted participants' happiness more than spending it on themselves, despite participants' predictions that spending it on themselves would make them happier. There are so many big challenges in the world, but not all ways of helping are created equally. The other thing is that there are so many ways to help people in the world. There are so many challenges, but not all ways of helping are created equally. We also want to think about who we donate to, what we can do that will make the best actual difference. There are also so many causes out there that you could engage with. How do you choose between them? I'm a big fan of the effective altruism movement, which uses economics and philosophy to guide your decision making, and how you can have the biggest impact using the average 80,000 hours you'll spend at work in your lifetime for the biggest net difference. So there we have it. I've now covered the 6 major causes of unfulfillment in life and how the Inner Compass online course is going to help you to overcome these. To recap, the 6 reasons were: number 1, a lack of clear direction about where you want to go in life. Number 2, feelings of anxiety and uncertainty and not knowing the techniques to manage them consistently. Number 3 was loneliness and feeling like you don't have a place where you belong and can truly be around like-minded people. Number 4 is boredom and procrastination hampering you from taking action and implementing what you know already works. Number 5 is inconsistency in working on what matters most to you. And number 6 is feeling like what you do has no purpose and no real impact, like you're not making a difference to the world. Now, for anyone who enjoys my teaching style and has gotten a lot of value out of this free training, this is only an hour long and the Inner Compass program is over 3 hours of video content. So I've only been able to skim over the surface today. If you've been impressed by something that I've shared, I just also want to acknowledge that it's not because I'm super smart or anything like that. It's simply because of this amazing team of mentors, coaches, and support that I've invested in along the way. Those things have cost me a total of £36,042 so far to learn, and I'm really proud of that number. Now, maybe I could have spent that on something special like a chain or a sports car or something like that, but I genuinely believe that investing in yourself is the best kind of investment we can ever make, because it's always going to reap the rewards. A mistake that I see a lot of people make is they try and do things on their own. They try and piece things together from YouTube videos where there's hours and hours of content that doesn't get to the point, or reading loads and loads of books that it takes them ages to find out the key things that matter most. What I'm trying to do today is give you the 20% of information, even the 10% of information that's going to give you 80%, 90% of your results. Now, for a lot of people out there, you don't have thousands and thousands of pounds to spend on these personal development products. And I think that a lot of courses out there have 2 problems. A, they're overpriced and misinformed because anyone can call themselves a coach these days. And most of them are just repeating generic information with little value to you. And number 2, they're separate and you have to piece everything together yourself. yourself. If we just take a look at what's available online right now, you'd need to buy separate courses that are full of hours and hours of boring content and a few slides for each of the 6 core areas that I mentioned. That means you need a course on finding your path, a course on procrastination, a course on anxiety, a course on how to give effectively, be productive, and so on. And so you could end up paying anywhere from £2,000 all the way up to £10,000 to access this information. Not to mention the amount of time you would need to research everything, find the best stuff, and then pour through the content to then finally start implementing these ideas. I know because I've personally faced this problem. Inner Compass isn't priced anywhere near that. And in fact, it comes with all of the inessentials removed. It's geared around implementation and not theory. Each video is 5 to 10 minutes long and also comes with a cheat sheet in the Inner Compass workbook, so you can refer to it easily whenever you need to. You can also use it multiple times and get even more value the more you use it. And it comes with bonuses that I'm adding to all the time, and also a 100-day money-back guarantee if you're not happy. So let me recap what I've told you and how this course is going to help you to live the most meaningful life you can, where you're excited to wake up every day because you're living in line with your purpose. Module 1 covers the full Passion Finder test, and you will learn all you need to know about finding your purpose and passion in life. Module 2, you learn the same mindfulness techniques used by the Buddha and by Navy SEALs so that you're less anxious and more calm in everyday situations. Module 3, you will discover how to find more connection in your life so you have meaningful relationships and can avoid feeling lonely ever again. Module 4 is all about overcoming procrastination. And then in Module 5, you learn how to build consistent habits so you don't lose the progress you make in this course. And lastly, Module 6 is about making an impact and the power of contribution. Like I talked about earlier, I credit a lot of my success to the fact that I've learned from all these great minds in the field of psychology, coaching, and self-improvement. They were able to answer my unique questions, and that's why I'm also available in the course comment section and Facebook group as your personal virtual mentor. This way, you'll always have someone to speak to and get feedback on things that you discover as you go through the course from me and other students. Obviously, I can't cover every single aspect of every single person's life in the course content, and that's why this is there. What's even more valuable than my mentoring and feedback, though, is the Inner Compass Community Facebook group, where we have people from all over the world with similar stories and aspirations to you. I love this community because it's really a group of like-minded people who aren't just talking about living a meaningful life, but they're constantly and consistently taking action towards it. If you're the pilot of your life, we're a bit like air traffic control, a place where you can keep track of your progress towards your intended destination. This community is growing all the time, and I've provided a ton of extra free content, videos, giveaways, challenges, and calls to help our tribe. In fact, most people say it's the best part of joining the Inner Compass course. In addition to the full course, the Facebook group mentoring and community, you get access to something I've mentioned during this training, and that's the personal workbook. This is not just a Microsoft Word document, but a nicely designed cheat sheet and learning journal to help you with every single section of the course and beyond. To save the environment, you get to download it as a PDF download, but some people choose to print it out and have it as a physical book to go alongside the course. It's filled with quotes, infographics, and step-by-step tutorials. We also have a recommended reading list for those who want to dig even deeper into the ideas in the course. And the final bonuses are discounts on loads of different health, productivity, and wellness products. I'm using and testing a lot of the best products on the market all the time, and since I have some influence because of my social media followings on YouTube and Instagram, I get access to deals and discounts that no one else does. Right now, here's some of the things that you can also get as part of the course. I love using audiobooks to learn on the go, and you get access to a free 30-day trial of Audible, as well as a free credit to download an audiobook of your choice. I'm a fan of natural nootropics, which are basically supplements designed for your brain to help you increase your focus and productivity. Right now, I've got discounts for the latest Brainzyme products, which is one of the leading natural nootropics companies in the world with hundreds of 5-star reviews. You can also get access to special discounts from letsgetchecked.com, which is a home testing kit service that allows you to safely get your hormone levels checked periodically to ensure that you're in the best health you can be. And I'm personally giving discounts to all of my current and future merch, courses, and events. Over the next 5 years, I have plans to release books, courses, run public events, and more. And once you're part of my community, I do my best to look after you, so you always get bonuses given to you and discounts on all of these things. If there are brands and things that you want discounts on, on or reviews on, just ask in the community and I'll do what I can to hook us all up with the best deals on the latest products. So there it is. This is what the Inner Compass program includes. It is a lifetime membership and you only have one upfront cost. You'll have access to current and future content for life. You can watch at your own pace from your phone or computer. And just these things alone, without the bonuses I'm offering, in the opinion of many of our members, is worth more than your college or university education because of the value of these essential life skills that most people are never taught by a true professional. Here's an example of what one of our members who joined recently told me. When I first started, I was really inhibited in my happiness and fulfillment by my utter inability to leave the comfort zone. I had this determination and passion and dreams, but I was terrified of trusting myself. I identified my fears, and in the last year, I've achieved so much. I don't know where I would be without this course or this coaching, probably wasting the 9K I paid per year for my degree and still sitting in my comfort zone. This guy will change your life. If you're feeling lonely, left out, and not achieving your potential, even just 10 minutes will help. Keshav is such an inspiration to me, and there's dozens more reviews like this. I'm also keen to learn from what doesn't work. So for those people who aren't satisfied, send me an email or fill in the feedback form at the end of the course and tell me how to make this course even better for you. Like I mentioned earlier, the course also comes with a 100-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like the course and you actually gave it a fair go, no worries. Ask me and I'll refund you. I've actually only ever had to refund one person in the last 2 years, and that was because this person needed the money back because of losing their job from the COVID-19 pandemic. My favorite thing about the course feedback though is hearing from people years later on how a tiny investment they made from a random live training call they did once upon a time had an effect for years. Personal development and life skills education isn't cheap, and good quality is hard to come by, which is why I want to make it available to as many people as I can whilst pushing the limits of quality and impact all of the time. So without further ado, we will finally get to the price of the full program, and I'll be offering an exclusive webinar discount for those who have hung around to the end of this training. So as valued by our current members, they say that this program is worth well over £3,000, but you're not going to pay that. In fact, nothing near that. I currently have it priced at £297, but as an early bird special, while the program is still under the first 100 members, I'm selling it for 20% off at £237. As an even better offer, and this applies to this training only, the first 5 people to join in the next 20 minutes are going to get 25% off by clicking on the link that I provide over here in a second. It'll take you to this custom discount page. You click the buy button, set up an account with your email address, and then you'll see the 25% discount applied already. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the offer right now. Like I said, this offer is going to be good for the next 10 minutes, and here we go. Let's make it go live. So there's the offer. Again, we only have 5 coupon codes available at this discounted 25% off price. It's first come, first serve. So if you're thinking about joining, now would be the time to do so. Obviously, it's risk-free as well because you've got that 100-day guarantee, and there's plenty of testimonials that I've shared already. So what more do you have to lose? And while that offer is ticking, I'll be here answering some of the top questions I get during the webinar. So feel free to ask questions in the chat box. Just so you know, I might answer your question via my voice, or I may answer you in the chat box. So pay attention to both. The first question is, procrastination is making me feel low. What should I do? Take action. Even if it's tiny, just take action. Procrastination is an overthinking and perfectionism problem at heart. Even if the action you take is just to write down what you should be doing, action is what creates feelings, results, and confidence. You feel low because when we procrastinate, you lose respect and trust in yourself to get things done. The best solution to this, which is also in the course, as I mentioned, is taking action. That's why I love the module on challenge, because we delve deeper into the types of procrastinators, the causes of it, and ways that you can build excellent habits where you can really build momentum and success. And there's some people in the group who've really had some stunning success because of this. The second question here I can see is, how do I become more confident in life? You know, I get asked this question a lot, and the truth is something that I shared in a free course on my YouTube channel and in this Instagram post that I shared recently. Now, confidence, it comes in different forms. Most people focus on it the wrong way round. They focus on the external cues of confidence, which has its place, but really it's a hierarchy. Everything at the top top end of this pyramid has a dominant effect on everything below, whereas the things below only influence all of the things above. At the very top, you've got core confidence, which is how you feel about yourself based on the experiences you can accumulate in life. If you get things done consistently, you perform to your best, you work with coaches and mentors who can help you either one-to-one or through courses like mine, you build up a bank of reference points, which is then stored as core confidence in your mind. So how do you know when you have core confidence? Well, this is when you feel confident and assured, which I think is a better word than confidence, in yourself, so that you'll be okay with so many things that you face in life, so many things that you can't control. There's so many things that we can't control, and life is about how you respond to what happens. 95% of it is your response, and 5% of it is what happens to you in life. The next level below that is situational confidence, which is the highest level that most people ever really reach, unfortunately. Your confidence becomes situational. So you're confident at some things some of the time, but not all things, and mainly things that you're good at. For example, a piano player might be confident at performing, but not speaking in public and teaching new students like a 7-year-old how to learn. They're different skill sets, and your confidence is linked to your competency in things. Lastly here, you've got surface level confidence, and that's the thing most people focus way too much on, is how you dress, how you speak, your body language, etc. The most confident people I know are actually the most comfortable in themselves. And that's where some of the modules in Inner Compass are really going to help you. Number 3 is a question about the course. So what's the recommended way to complete it, and how long do I have to complete it? Can I go back and rewatch it? It's a great question. Personally, I'd recommend you do 1 module per week and you share the results and discoveries with the community in the Facebook group as you go along. What I find that the best students do, who get the most value for their money from the course, is they introduce themselves in the Facebook group right away. They chat to people, they make friends, they get to know everyone, and they really share their whole self and their whole journey in all ways. You know, they're posting, commenting like 3-4 times a day, not just a week. Some people do choose to blast through it in about a week or so, which you could do, but quality takes time, you know, reflection takes time. Why rush these important life questions? I think it's better to sit, digest, and play with them so that you can keep revisiting your answers over time. And 6 weeks is a good amount of time to do that, because that's where I find my best thinking comes from. You can complete it obviously in as little or as much time as you want, but I really find that the sweet spot is here. And since you have lifetime access, you can always go back and rewatch it. In fact, I always recommend that you go back and redo the whole thing once a year on December the 31st, see what else comes up for you, things like that. Next question is, do members of the group ever meet up virtually in person? Yeah, they do. The last meetup we did was in London, and we had some Indian food and we talked about personal growth and things that people have been learning. Is really fun. A bunch of people also came to my last mixtape launch event, which is the Lotus that blooms forth. If you haven't heard of it already, you can check out my mixtapes on my website. And we've also done retreats, webinars, calls, meetups, everything in between, even a picnic. Right now, because of COVID-19, obviously it's virtual only. We recently did weekly live Zoom calls that lasted for like 2 hours, but I'd love to see more of these when things settle down with the pandemic for sure. Next question is, do you offer one-to-one private coaching? Can I work with you directly? Yes, I do offer one-to-one. It's the most powerful thing that I offer. My one-to-ones are very high flame, and I prefer to work with 1 to 2 people. So I can really go deep. I can really do a lot of that inner work on your psychology, trauma, setbacks, success that you're working to, for example. Next question, if I have specific questions throughout the course, will I be able to email you those questions? Absolutely. Any questions you have, you will have my personal email address that you can send me questions to, and I'll usually reply within a day or 2. And to me, that's what separates this program from so many other educational options out there, is having personal access to a practicing professional who can help you overcome any stumbling blocks and really shorten your learning curve. And speaking of questions, hopefully I've answered most of yours in this training. Also, if you have any other questions or doubts about whether this program is right for you, shoot me an email. I'm super accessible. Let's chat about your situation and see what we can do to help you. But our offer has now officially ended. So procrastinators or people having any payment issues, hit me up at support@keshavbhatt.com if you still want that discounted price, and I will get that taken care of. But other than that, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, just by searching for my name or at KeshavBX to keep up with the latest things that are going on with Inner Compass, my online videos, courses, mixtapes, and events. And lastly, I just want to wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors. others, be confident, never stop learning and growing, work harder than everyone around you, and I promise you that you'll find a bunch of success. But that's it for today. Thank you for stopping by. And as always, absorb what's useful, discard what isn't, and add what is uniquely and truly your own. Peace.